Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, and I'm here to talk to you today about affirmations and astrology for the week. It's really December the 19th, but I'm making this video on the 20th. So, the 20th of December to the 25th, 2021. How are you all doing? How was that moon in Gemini? It was very powerful for me. I'm not going to lie. I'm a Scorpio rising. It was in my eighth house. And so, yeah, it delivered in a good way. In a good way. One thing to always remember is, this energy is not about here to attack you. It does not dictate anything. It's all about how are we showing up. And so, yeah, that's part of why I do what I do is to show you how to grab the energy and channel it in a way that is beneficial for you. It's not to say it was not without stress. It was stressful. It was very stressful at some points, especially an issue regarding one of my sons. But hey, baby, it all worked out. It all worked out. Thank the goddess. So I hope that you are feeling well. I do encourage everybody to stop and take a few moments every day to take some deep breaths. This week in particular, it's important to do that because, yeah, we have uh, just this week is not an easy week. Let me just say it. I personally was not full on looking forward to this week. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, uh, because we have the aspect this week that has been making 2021 what it is. Happening for the third time. One thing I know is, you know how we say the third time is a charm? Man, I can say astrology can be third time is a charm because sometimes things happen in threes. And so this is one of those aspects that will happen three times. And so the first time, it's like it just upends everything. The second time, it's a revisiting. And then the third time, it's a integration. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. Um, I do want to just say, yay, we're getting ready to go into Capricorn season. I've never fully understood why I love Capricorn season until I really think about I am very earthy and earth energy supports earth. And so whenever there's something going on in Capricorn, I'm uplifted. I feel wonderful. I've always said, I know a lot of times people feel like Capricorns are killjoys and, they're difficult because they're so nitpicky and just sort of like bossy. Not sort of. They are. Capricorns are the boss, baby. That's what Capricorn represents. But I've always said I have to have a Capricorn in my life. I love Capricorns. And now, the more that I learn about astrology, the more I realize Earth complements me. Earth and water signs really complement me. And I'm not gonna lie, I love my Libras. Libras be showing up in my life, okay? Probably because that's my 12th house and I need all the help I can get. Um, but I'm excited about Capricorn. So I just want to go on ahead and just start off by saying, Capricorns, I'm gonna need for y'all to show up. I'm gonna need y'all to turn up. Let everybody know it's your season. We already know y'all got the best of the best, the finest of the finest. So I'm gonna need you to put on your regalia. Y'all know Capricorns, when they're young, they sometimes look more mature. They have this old soul look to them. And then all of a sudden, when Capricorns start getting older, I'm like, how is she reversing in age? Sometimes I see people and I'm like, gotta be a Capricorn. As a matter of fact, the friend who just really was a catalyst for me getting deep into astrology, she's a little bit older than me, not much, but a little bit. And she posted a picture. No, I found a picture of her. She used to be a reporter here in my area. And I found this old picture. I was going through some stuff and saw her. And I'm like, hold up. How she looked the same way now that she looked back then. We were in our 20s. Okay. We're in our 50s. I'm like, what the frick? I said, girl, are you a Capricorn? She was like, yeah. I was like, You have to be a Capricorn. Capricorns look, baby, Capricorn is like you get better with like fine wine. So I'm gonna need all the Capricorns to turn it up. Turn it up. Everybody, look, it's the end of the year. It's been a hard year. It feels like all of us need to just be turning it up with the Capricorns. Okay. So let's just all turn it up. Let's have a good time. Let's enjoy ourselves. Because my message to everybody right now is you may as well. You may as well. You can't wait for the world to be looking a certain way and feeling a certain way to have a good time. You just got to fit it in. I say, one of my coaches says, look, you need to schedule all your personal stuff first, all your fun, all your downtime. When you going onto your calendar, you need to schedule all that first. So that's what I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all need to schedule the celebration first. Schedule the good times first. Schedule the gratitude first. You may as well. You may as well, because 2022, it's some good stuff that's gonna happen. But 2022 is gonna be a piece of work. So you just got to learn how to make things happen. Good. Celebrate the good. Find the good and praise it. It's one of my favorite quotes from Alex Haley. Find the good and praise it. Okay. So, yeah, let's celebrate. We may as well. Now, let's see here. What else do I have on my list that I want to talk to you all about? Something that's not well known in astrology is about Mercury. Mercury is oh, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, mothers. So I want to tell y'all something I've been talking about. I know for sure in my inner circle is that I believe, well, not I believe, I know for a fact, it's just like what I talked about in the beginning. You have to learn how to um, channel the energy. And so we have this aspect this week. I was going to talk about Mercury, but I guess I'm going to go on ahead and talk about this other aspect. It is Saturn square Uranus. That's the one that I was saying, it's happened 3 times. And so Saturn is earthy and it represents rocks, things that are hard, stones, salt, because it is said Capricorns or the energy of Capricorn in general is the salt of the earth because it's an energy that has to do with survival. This is one of the reasons that Capricorns are so good at making it because they are, you know, just the way my teacher described it, they're the dinosaurs. Like they know how to survive. Okay. So, salt, when we think about salt of the earth, Capricorn. And so Uranus is the other planet. Saturn is the hard things, salt, old things. So it's something that's hard. And a lot of times we relate it to stones. And Uranus is electricity. And so one of the things that I want to do to add, share with you, offer to you to channel this aspect is to get a salt lamp that's lit by electricity. Okay. Now it could be a crystal lamp. Like I looked up some selenite lamps and it's all kinds of crystal lamps out there. So it might be crystals because crystals are related to um, Capricorn or Saturn also. But you definitely want it to be fueled by electricity. And, I look at it as a way to channel the energy and which is happening this week. But it's really interesting. I was listening to one of my astrology teachers, and he was like, "This has been like in operation since sometime in November." And I remember in November, all of a sudden, I was just like on this craze to buy salt lamps, and I'm like, "Why?" But I was like, "I gotta have salt lamps," and then I just started thinking about it. I feel this energy and the way I want to like let it know, I got you covered. You covered here in this lamp. You don't need to come in here doing nothing other than just being real easy. And so I was like, okay, this is why I've been on this salt lamp kick. And so, search your heart, whatever you want to get, have it looks. It just needs to be a stone of some sort that's um, lit up with electricity and so this particular, and I probably should have pulled up my, let me pull this up for y'all real quick. Um, my spiritual care package is something that I share with my inner circle. And I do want to let y'all know my inner circle is open. My inner circle is open until December the 31st. I would love to have you join the inner circle. What is it? It's a community, it's a membership. It's a way for you to have access to so much spiritual information, teachings to keep yourself abreast. One of the reasons I started it is because I feel like people are a little bit starved. We go around looking at all these videos. Sometimes I think to myself, man, I'll just be standing in my kitchen on Sunday morning like, "What? I just wanna listen to something that's gonna give me a word. I know I can trust it, and it's gonna be on point." And I will actually fire up my own videos because I don't remember everything I say in my videos. I gotta review them just like everybody else. And it's dedicated to you. When you join a paid community, you better know that person, this chick right here, dedicated, devoted. When y'all don't see me here, they are seeing me, right? Because I'm dedicated and I'm devoted to making sure I get to everybody in the community. I have a whole lot of stuff. I don't know if everybody uses everything that I share, but there is no lack of it. And the other part is this community of women is amazing. One of the most supportive communities I've ever been a part of. So it is open this week. And if you feel like you're looking for that community and you want some place to go and get spiritual teachings or sharings, someplace where you can go and share because it's not all about me talking. Then come on in. Come on into the circle. So one of the things that I do every month is I share what I call the spiritual care package. No, that's not what I want to share. And in this spiritual care package, um, I share about this long-term aspect. Let me blow it up just a little bit so y'all can see it. So you can see it's exact on Christmas Eve. Goddess bless everybody who is hoping that this is going to be a great Christmas Christmas. I hope it is. I really do. I hope it is. We have Venus meeting with Pluto on that day, which means it has the potential to be a very powerful day. Something powerful for women or the feminine energy, abundance. Okay. But this Saturn square Uranus, I'm not gonna lie, most of this description I got from my teacher, and she gave it to us last year, long before all of what went down. She's on point. I'm not gonna lie. I don't always sometimes vibe all of her thoughts. She gets on my nerves sometimes, but I can say she can call some stuff and I will not like it, but she'll call it. So with this, it has been a lot of the supply chain issues, and that's one of the things indicated by it. That cold freeze that we had back in February, it was like week of. Look, February 17th, go back and look at February 17th and what was going on in many places. I know in the United States, but I think I heard it hit several countries. So and just the way, see, Uranus has to do with electricity. Saturn is cold. And what happened in Texas? Man, had me stressed out. It was so many folks down there I know. I was like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? They doing rolling blackouts down there. That's some Saturn square Uranus stuff. Okay. Um, it can have to do with labor. It's a time of rebellion. Now, on the personal level, what I have, the way I've said it to all of you all year long is you will feel pressure to change. You'll know there's some change that you need to make, and you're like, I know I really need to do this, but there may be resistance. And so this Saturn Uranus square is designed to help people um keep making the changes that they need, because Uranus is all about going in a new direction, and it'll just make you go there whether you want to go there or not. But Saturn is more about like, no, you're not going to just up level. You got to take a step by step by step process. You need to find a tried and true methodology that supports this new place that you want to go. And so, yeah, this is going to happen this week. This is what has made me just like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Here in the United States, I'm not doing a good job of really keeping up with news anywhere. So, pardon me if you know other places where this is happening. Please put this in the comments. But the way we're seeing people in labor just resist and demand whatever it is that they want, this is a part of the Saturn Uranus square because Uranus is about people saying, I'm not going to just take what you say. It's an energy that has to do with people protesting and advocating for their own rights, whereas Saturn is like the government. It is like who's in power. And so there's this clash that's going on. And, the hope actually is that the people rise up and the government becomes better, which, I'm not going to even go down that path. But anywho, that's part of what we are seeing with this. So, yeah. I'm going to go back to um, Mercury is going to be what is called visible. It's not something that you often hear. I actually have learned from some really amazing astrologers that come from different perspectives. And they are the ones that introduced me to this concept of invisibility and visibility. When a planet is visible, it is strong. Even if it's retrograde, its energy is going to be, it's going to have good power. Retrograde will make it lose a little bit of power, right? Because it's trying to rest, which is what Venus is doing right now. Venus is retrograde. She's like, hey, I need to take a break. So, y'all, look, don't panic. If it feels like your money is looking funny, if it feels like you're a little bit more critical about how you look. What a retrograde is set to do is to make you stop and look at what is coming up how can you improve it? How can you maybe you need to go in a new direction. Maybe the direction you're headed in is not the one you should be. I also think, this just actually popped in my mind. Venus has to do with our desires. And so here we are at the end of a year and the question is, what is it that we really desire? Are we working on what we most desire? Is our success at whatever it is that you're working on, is it headed in the direction that you want it to head in? So that's what the retrograde is about. But when a planet is invisible, then it doesn't it like retrograde and invisibility will bring that planet's energy away from the world. It's just not there. We feel like in order to access it, it takes a lot of effort. Mercury actually stays invisible a large part of the year. So when it becomes visible, it's a big deal. And it's a big deal for, of course, Virgos and Geminis. I mean, that would just bring them to even more to life. It's also really good for people who are in mercurial careers. So people who write, who are in business, networking, social media, anything that has to do with communication, actually. People like me who come on YouTube or podcasters, people on the gig community, um, people who have these contractual type positions that take them to and fro. So something like Uber and Lyft and um, yeah, all of those. And anything to do with technology, that will be something that would be amazing. So you will just feel so much more powerful. And so I say lean into it if you're in one of these careers. If you teach, especially if you're teaching something short term or you teach skills, lean into it while Mercury is visible. So Mercury goes visible on the 22nd. Okay, so what did I pull for you all this week in terms of affirmations? Well, the first one that I want to go over is I am grounded. And I thought this one was perfect for this week. just because we're coming off this full moon, some of us may not feel fully grounded because that moon was it was very spiritual and um it had a lot of energy about it that was like finishing up these eclipses, but it was more of like a releasing in order to move forward. And so we may not fully feel grounded. And then we have this um Saturn Uranus this weekend. I'm like, oh my, or this week. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I am grounded. And my question is, how will you ground yourself this week? Maybe you need to stop and take some deep breaths. Maybe you need to just stop and put your hand over your heart, one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, maybe both hands on your heart, and just take some deep breaths. Maybe you need to just go lie down, time out. How do you ground yourself? Something I've been doing here lately, I bought a rebounder. And so I've been realizing when I feel frenetic, I get on the rebounder and I just go up and down, up and down, up and down. And it starts settling my nervous system. It just starts bringing me down and feeling, like centered in my body. So just affirm this week, I am grounded. What is it that you need to do in order to ground yourself? Lock it in. When I don't feel grounded, I'm going to stop and take time to figure out how to ground myself. Remember, you don't have to live ungrounded. It's a choice, okay? So I have a strong foundation on which to build my dreams. And I- I'm just going to go to this next one because I think this week is a great week for us to begin to affirm our confidence more. I am confident. I believe in myself and my abilities. So I think it's important for us to make sure that we um, have confidence in ourselves because baby, let me tell you something. You can have confidence in yourself that will outlast, outwit, and outplay lack of confidence in everybody else. Okay. So I really encourage you to do what it takes to be confident in yourself. When you lack confidence, think back on when you did pull that thing off, baby. Okay. You got it, girlfriend. All right. Any brothers who watching, you got it, brother. All right. All the humans watching, you got it. You got it, my fellow human. All right. So, yeah, I really want you to understand that I have a strong foundation on which to build my dreams. That's where I had finished or left off here. I have a strong foundation on which to bring my on which to build my dreams. And sometimes that strong foundation comes in being confident in the dream, comes with being confident in what you um in your gifts and your talents. One thing I'll tell you is as I have worked to continue to build this business, this spiritual business, so I can keep showing up. Because let me tell you, if I had to go get a job, I wouldn't be here like this. Okay. Um, so thank you all for your support, your continued support, because I'm still new, fresh, and working on this thing. And one of the reasons I don't quit is I have a very high belief in this gift that I have. I have a very high belief in the mission that has been laid out before me. I'm confident in that. And that is what gets me through the hardest days. And I want you to think about that. Sometimes, you know, the hard days will come when we're working on the things that we love. And you just got to have that confidence. If you don't believe in your life right now, it's like, but you know what? I have a life. So I have to be confident that I have a life for a reason. And that is what keeps me working on establishing the foundation or standing on the foundation of the dreams that I desire for my life. Okay. So I think that these are two amazing affirmations for this week. And I hope that they touch you. I would love to hear what they speak to you. And I thought it was interesting. I have this new Oracle deck, Beyond Lemuria, because one of my sister priestesses turned it on to me. We are connected. My tradition is connected to Lemuria, among other things. Like I never limit myself. I don't wear labels too much, y'all. Um, but anywho, I pulled this one. It says, trust your innocence. And what she said, because it's just way too much to read. What she said essentially is you want to begin to know the difference between your intuition and how did she describe it? um, in your mind, what your mind is telling you and what your intuition is telling you. Now, what I'm going to tell you is it's the lower mind is what she's talking about. Because, baby, when we connect with the universal mind, hey, man, it's some ingenious stuff that be coming down the pipeline. And I do think that this is a week for us to get some ingenious thoughts, ingenious ideas, ingenious insights. And so this, what she's saying, is important to trust your innocence. The key words are truth, trusting yourself, being real with people, knowing the difference between intuition and paranoia, uncensored feelings, and returning to innocence. And she's talking about telling the truth to yourself. She's saying it's important to be ultra honest with yourself. And she talks about how when, you're dealing with that child, children just tell it like they see it. They don't filter anything. They don't have a reason to yet. Life has not made them feel like it's not safe to share the truth. They just do it. And so it's important for us to move back to that level of innocence, because the more we clear the chatter, the more we will hear our intuition. And our intuition, whether we know this or not, let me tell you, it is connected to the higher universal mind, the higher universal truths. And it feels different for everyone, but I can tell you when you hear it, you know it. It's like, you know what? I just feel at peace right now. That's the best way I have been able to describe what it feels like to me, because I feel it in my body. Sometimes I hear things. A lot of times, or like the most consistent way, is like I just feel anchored. It's like, nah, everything is good. Like, seriously, it's all good. Yeah. Calm down, sis. It's all good. All right, brother. You can just relax. It's all good. That's how I feel when I'm anchored in that. When I know it's my inner knowing, right? Um, some questions that you may want to ask yourself. Um, let's see here. What were the very first feelings or visions you had when you considered the question at hand before you second guessed yourself? That is a very good question. And I do that. I will reverse engineer. I'm like, you know what? Initially, I felt okay, but now I'm feeling paranoid. Then I'm like, okay, let me go back to that initial thought. What was that? And then, I'll explore. How did I get to this paranoia? Like, how have I confused myself? Now, y'all know I'll use an oracle in a minute, though. But some people can't read for themselves. So it's important to cultivate this. Here's the next question. How does it feel in your body when you are brutally honest with yourself? Sometimes here lately, I'll like slump over, like, I know, I hear you. Like I'll tell myself, you're being really mean. Like you're the meanest to yourself than you're mean. You're more mean to yourself than you are to anyone else. You would never talk to anyone like this. And I'll just, I know, you're right. I'll stop. um, let's see here. Try to go beyond the layers of what you have been taught to believe about yourself. When some of the logic falls away, what answers remain? This is such a good way to tap into your intuition. So here's what she says to um, just like what she calls it, the divinatory meaning. Learn to trust your inner sense or intuition. You are encouraged to be absolutely honest with yourself. Cast aside any mind stories and shoulds that you should tell yourself. In your heart of hearts, you know the answers. Dare to listen and to honor them. This card may relate to being truthful with another person. Relationships can only deepen when we can be real with each other. Now, I can tell you, I think this is a week where intuition will be important, and trusting yourself and having that confidence and grounding yourself. One of my coaches says, ground yourself in your truth. And I'll say that to myself, ground yourself into your truth, Tyra. Ground yourself in your truth. What's your truth? My truth is, you know what? Right now, here in this moment, everything is okay. It's my mind that's racing. But right if I really look around these four walls that I'm sitting in, like everything is okay. Even this past weekend when I was so stressed, it was something about one of my sons in a class. I was so stressed and I was like, I have no control. Ground yourself in your truth. Everything is okay. Everything's working out. No matter what the outcome, everything is okay. It's going to be okay, you know? And so that's really, really important is, yeah, in your heart of hearts, you know the answers, dare to listen to them and to honor them. This card, yes, relationships can only deepen when we can be real with each other. Consider your timing and be considerate, but this is a time for truth. And I just honestly believe this is what's going to happen this week. We have also Venus interacting with Pluto in a positive way, but this is a very powerful meeting that will confer this energy because Pluto is like, we not lying up in here. We telling the brutal, ugly, honest truth. Now, this started last week. Venus met with Pluto last week. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I loved it. Man, that was a nice little a few days for me. I was feeling like on top of the world, even though I got yanked down by that moon, baby. I was on top of the world. But when she comes back to meet Pluto, it's a second meeting. So the question is, what's going to be coming up on Christmas Day, December 25th, y'all? Um, and and it's just, I just think this is an opportunity to really tap the power within. And what is the power within? Truth and trusting your intuition and having confidence in yourself. You know what you good at. Come on. If we're gonna be truthful about something, let's be brutally truthful about that. Some of us are not sharing our gifts. We are not confident in our gifts, and our gifts are amazing. All right. So that's what I have for you all this week. I hope that this has been helpful. I do want to let y'all know if you join the inner circle right now, what I'm doing is I'm going through what are we to expect in 2022. And it's just like several meetings after meeting after meeting. You can you can watch the replay. I'm posting the audio if you just want to listen to the audio to help people to understand how to navigate 2022. That's why I do what I do. I'm like, man, it's a GPS out here, baby. And you don't have to try to figure it out all by yourself. And if you need somebody you want to talk to or ask questions, that's what I'm here for. Right. So I do encourage you to, consider that. And just know that that's what I'm mostly doing. I'll be coming here. Oh, one more thing. Next week, I'm actually going to show you all what it's like to be in my inner circle. Even if you've been in my inner circle and you left, it's not the same. It's changing. It's evolving because guess what? I'm growing up as a guide. I'm growing up as, a business owner. So anywho, um, I'll show y'all what it's like to be in my inner circle next week. So y'all better watch out. Follow the live streams because they're coming. Okay, thank you all so much. I appreciate you and I wish you an amazing week. My family is all into Christmas, so I'll be doing whatever, they have invited me to do. I know not all of us here are into it, so, just whatever you do. If you're into it, enjoy your time. If you're not into it, oh, boom. Woo! Okay, there's a reason I said that because typically I don't even talk about holidays because I don't really like them. Not for any other reason than my childhood was not fun around holidays. That's the main reason I don't like holidays. But um, we have the solstice this week. I know I talked about Capricorn season, but I wanted to tell you all that I think that um, this solstice is a time. It's hard actually this week to just be moving slow. And so my recommendation, because for us in the northern hemisphere, it is the shortest day of the year. So we're experiencing the winter solstice. So for the winter solstice, I encourage us all to light a candle and to take that time to just be a little bit slower, to take yourself into the womb of darkness so that you can rebirth yourself. And for those who are in the southern hemisphere and you are experiencing the summer solstice, then what I encourage you to do is definitely light your candles and to do a celebration, like, really appreciate the energy of the sun because you have the longest day of the year on the 21st. Um, and to allow that energy to infuse you, to allow it to infuse you and carry that energy into the waning part of the year. You're going into the waning part. And those of us in the northern hemisphere, we're now getting ready to go in waxing because now we're going to start getting more daylight. So we just want to begin to honor the cycles. Capricorn is a sign that has to do with cycles. So we want to honor these cycles. But there's something about this solstice that just feels very powerful. And I encourage you, no matter which hemisphere you're in, majority of y'all watching this are in the northern hemisphere, to honor this solstice. All right. All right, for real. I'm gone. Y'all take care. And I'll see y'all sometime later this week. Just watch for the video. All right. Peace and love.